Morning, guys. It's Roseann White here on a beautiful Saturday morning in Scottsdale, Arizona, and I'm here with my husband, Kewen, who I woke up bright and early. It is 6:30 a.m. here in Scottsdale, Arizona, 9:30 probably at East Coast time. But I woke up. He was actually willing to participate in this live specifically because it is all about de-stressing and relaxing. Tax days are right around the corner, and hopefully you got your taxes done. Or if you are in the accounting field, like a few of my clients, they're pretty stressed out right now because it is like everything is deadline day, right? But it doesn't have to be tax day for you to be stressed out about life. Trust me on this one. Life happens all the time, and I know for me personally, anxiety always runs high with me. So I am really grateful that Life Pro has given us the opportunity to de-stress in a very, very easy way on the PEMF mats. So I just want to welcome you all. I'm having a hard time with my contacts seeing who's on. Yep, I have some people there. Good morning. Please let me know where you are tuning in from. If you've got any questions along the way, pipe in. Just type them in the chat. I'm going to be happy to answer them. And if I don't answer them now, I'll definitely answer them after our live. I have a lot of information to give you, but more importantly, want to demonstrate with Kewen's help a really nice routine that you can do. It doesn't matter what your physical abilities are. This is not about being a flexible yogi or yogini. This is about just learning how to lay on the mat, to breathe, and to move your body in a very gentle way, a very restorative way to de-stress. We hold a lot of stress in our hips, our lower back, and neck and shoulders. So I'll be moving you in ways that are very doable. I teach therapeutic yoga to a lot of active aging adults like you. And the benefit is to do it on your PMF mat. Now, you might want to just chill out on the mat, and that's perfectly fine too. We have our mini in our family room, and it's on the couch. We leave it there often just to take some time to chill out and to tune in to our breath. Let's just talk a little bit. I just want to spend a little time, and I really want to make this more a practice, but I just want to talk a little bit about what I'm going to share with you. The most important thing, first of all, about doing this practice is breathing. Now, we take that for granted. We automatically breathe in and out, and that's just our life force. But I'm going to talk a little bit about how to increase the awareness of breath. There's so many different ways to actually practice breathing, but the most important thing is that you're consciously aware that you're breathing in and out. There's 4 kinds of breath that are simple to do. I like to do 3-part breathing, which I'll demonstrate with Kewen, and I've demonstrated a lot on our Life Pro Lives. Box breathing is another type of breathing that I'll just mention as we go through the practice. 4-7-8 breathing is another one. And just simply, again, if you don't want to worry about if I'm doing it right or wrong, long breaths in, long breaths out. It's as simple as that. And, I've done a bit of research about the PEMF mats, and with the one we have, the Infrazen from Life Pro, and we can adjust our hertz all the way up to 30, and you don't have to crank it up. Actually, I've been cranking it up and realized that sometimes it's about less is more, and 3 to 5 hertz for 15 minutes is a great stress relief. You can go a little bit deeper into the 20 hertz if you're very hyperactive, which I fall into that category. But if you're working on inflammation or you're working on injuries, know that there's different levels. I'm not going to go through the levels today, but I'll be happy to share more of that. There's a lot of information on the different levels of the mat. What else do I want to tell you about? I want to make sure I cover a few of my bases. So I talked about the levels. I'm not going to talk about I've talked a little bit about the breath. And lastly, I want to talk about the art of relaxation. And Kuhn will attest to this. I run really intensely. So taking time out of your day, whether it's morning or night, just to decompress is going to be super important. Stress causes a lot of things besides a cranky person that I have been lately, but also stress can cause a lot more pain, actual physical pain in our body. So if you find for you, your hips, your back, your neck are really stiff and achy, chances are you might be holding a lot of stress in there. So join us right now. Even if you don't have a mat, do not worry. Maybe you'll be more encouraged to get one after this demonstration or after this practice. But join me and save this video because I'm going to show you a practice I take through a lot of my clients and how they can just eliminate, de-stress their body very easily, very simply. So let's begin. I'm going to just go ahead and change my screen a little bit to get Q in here. And again, if you got questions, feel free to answer. A couple things. I've got some props. And Q, if you want to just move to the side for a second. Right now, Q is sitting on a bolster. Okay, this is not something you need, but if you find that when you lay down on your mat and if your back really hurts, put something like a bolster, or you can take a yoga blanket and roll it up underneath your knees. Again, I'm just showing you these things because sometimes people don't realize a simple prop under the knees will make a big difference in how your back feels. Also, I may or may not, I'm going to see how he's moving, use a yoga block for some things. I will give you a link on all these products I have an Amazon storefront, kind of like Amber does. You can find all these products if you're not sure what's the right blanket or the bolster or the block to use. I have some suggestions. But what you definitely want to have more than anything, I don't care about if you have any of these props, I'm using a little hand towel for when we start off. So what I'm going to ask you to do first is just lay flat on the mat. Now, we are going to, we're going to make sure his head is not, you might see, go ahead, scoot forward a little bit more, sweetheart. You can see his head, and you can lay down. His head is not on the mat. It's on the Life Pro logo. And he has a little bit of forward chin, meaning his head pops forward a little bit. So I'm going to take this blanket and I'm going to put it right underneath your head. Just kind of like, just to prop him up a little bit so his neck is long. And of course, we've got to put on our mats. So how are you feeling this morning, my love?
I need this.
Okay. So I'm going to put this on 60 time right now. Probably will be about 30 minutes or so for this practice. I want to keep it about 30. And I'm going to keep the temperature. My husband runs pretty warm to begin with. So I'm not going to make this really, really hot for him today. I'm just going to give him a temperature of, what do you like when you put this mat on? What's your favorite temperature?
Like at 100.
100?
Yeah.
Okay. So I'm going to put the temp at about 100 for him. And he can tell me if he wants more or less, because you can always adjust it. At any time, you can adjust the temperature. And for frequency, so 30 hertz is the kind of like the default. We're going to take it down a little bit because, again, more is not always better when we're using the mat. So we're going to take this down. Did you realize that? I just did the research that.
Always go
maximum. Yeah. You can, let's go maybe 8 hertz. Okay. Some people are very, very sensitive to this technology and the electromagnetic field. They'll feel it in their body. So
I can feel it.
Yeah. So I've got it on 9 and he's already feeling. Q has a lot of sensitive awareness of sound and smell. So for him, he's very aware, which is cool. If you don't feel it, just know it's working, okay? So the next thing I'm going to do, and he didn't know I brought this in, I'm grabbing some essential oil, and I'm literally going to put a little bit of this behind his neck. Now you can lay down, honey. I want you to relax. I'm doing all the work today. Be glad, okay? So I'm just going to put a little bit under his neck, around behind his neck, and then I'm going to have him. You take your watch off, sweetheart. You don't want to have jewelry when you're on the mat. Your ring you can keep on. I'm not worried about that. I just don't want any electronic stuff. Now I'm going to take this oil. I'm just going to put a little bit on his wrist. Rub your wrists together. Yeah, rub it so it gets warm, and then slowly take a breath in through your nose. Open your mouth out. You don't have to do that. He's doing lion's breath. Yeah. So just an easy breath. Inhale. Open mouth. I want you to sigh it out. That HS sound. One more. Breathe it in. Bring that oil in. And exhale. And then let your hands rest at your side. So I just got into breathe, okay? Now I've talked about the different kinds of breathing. 4-part breathing. I'm going to go through this one quickly. So I'm going to have you slowly at the count of 4, inhale through your nose, 1x, 2x, 3x, 4x, hold, 1x, 2x, 3x, 4x. Now exhale 4 counts. Exhale 1, exhale 2, exhale 3, exhale 4, hold, 1x, 2x, 3x, don't breathe, 4x. Now inhale. So you inhale for 4 counts. You hold the breath for 4 counts. You exhale for 4 counts. And you hold the exhale. We'll do it one more time. So you inhale for 4 counts. That's one corner of the box, or one side. You hold for 4 counts. You exhale for 4 counts. You hold the exhale for 4 counts. And then go to normal breathing. So that 4-part breathing will balance out your parasympathetic and sympathetic nervous systems. That's the flight, fright breathing. You know, you're like the bear's chasing you, or you're in paradise. You want to balance that out. So 4-part breathing, simple. The oil I use today, I actually use a combination oil of Serenity. It's Serenity. So it's got lavender, lang lang, it's got some frankincense, chamomile. Any oil that grounds you, calms you. Lavender is a really good one. Frankincense is a really good one to bring you down. I wouldn't do peppermint or something spearmint. I wouldn't do anything that's very invigorating. Find something that calms you down. And doTERRA is my oil of choice. So the next breathing, we're going to practice, again, a very easy breathing. It's 4, 7, 8. So just exhale out all your air. You're going to inhale for 4 counts, 1x, 2x, 3x, 4x. You're going to hold for 7 counts, 1x, 2x, 3x, 4x, 5x, 6x, 7x. Now an 8 count out, slow, 1x, 2x, 3x, 4x, 5x, get all through the deep, deep layers, 6x, 7x, 8x. And then you repeat. So that Dr. Andrew Wild created that 4, 7, 8 breath that helps you to breathe in, hold, and it's a longer exhale. So you're basically doubling the amount of inhale with the exhale. You're emptying out your lungs. You're just letting everything go. Now, the last breath I'm going to talk about, even though there's several of them, is my 3-part breathing. So I'm going to have Kewen put his hands right on his belly. I think thumbs go in the navel and fingertips go down to the pubic area. And just take a normal, whatever breath you want through your nose, though, and fill up your belly. It gets really expanded. And then out through the mouth, you go H-ah. And let that belly drop. Again, breathe in through the nose. Relax your jaw as you exhale. One more. Beautiful. Now, hands will go on his rib cage. So he's just going to slide his hands out to the side. You're going to breathe into the belly first, and then feel your breathing go into the ribs. So you're going to expand the ribs. You exhale through the mouth, belly sinks, and relax your jaw. And ribs close in. So you breathe belly and ribs. Feel your hands expanding in the sides, or the ribs expanding in the sides of your hands. And then belly empties, ribs close. So you're just starting to breathe that prana, the life force, in. Now, lastly, he's going to put one hand on his heart and the other hand on top of it. Okay, breathe into the belly, breathe into the ribs, and then breathe all the way up to the heart. Now, empty belly, empty ribs, and empty heart. And I can see his shoulders really relaxing. We'll do that one more time. Belly, ribs, hearts, and then belly empties. Ribs knit together and heart sinks. So those are 3 ways of breathing just to center you. Now, right now, that took us a couple minutes. I'm looking to see. Yeah, that took us a couple minutes with the breathing, centering. Relax your hands at your side. I'm going to encourage you, Q, to just breathe into that 3-part breathing, okay? In through the nose, out through the mouth. We're moving energy, not only from the mat, but in the body. Now, the next part is we're going to start actually going into the practice. And let me grab my towel really quick because I want to make sure I have that. And my yoga block in case I need it. And I'm going to ask Q to bend his knees so the feet are flat. And I'm going to take this towel and I'm going to roll it. I call this the cigar roll. Now, some of us have very, very lordotic backs. I mean, there's a big arch in the back. Some have a kind of a flat back. Q's probably about average. You're a little lordotic, but so meaning I'm going to roll this roll up in a pretty good sized cigar for him. This should be pretty good. One time, I'm going to have you just lift your hips up and we're going to put this in your right where your waistband is, and then come on down. So you're going to feel like your butt drops. Feel that little support? You feel okay with that?
Yes.
And then the next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to put a yoga block between his knees. I'm not having him squeeze the life out of it, but I just want to center, have his knees in line with his hip sockets. Now we're going to do some hip rolls. I'm not going to have him lift into a bridge. We're just rolling hips. Breathe in. And on the exhale, press your navel down and tilt your pelvis up. So you're going to push your waistband into the cigar roll. So you're going to tilt those hips as you exhale. Squeeze that block gently. And then roll your hips back down. Inhale. Exhale, squeeze the block and flatten your back and lift your tailbone. Roll your hips up. And then inhale, let your hips drop down. Do that 3 more times. Press down into the cigar roll. Feel it. Push it down like you're flattening it. Tuck your chin. And then inhale. And then exhale. So you're pulling hip bones to ribs. Make that space smaller. Tuck your chin because we tend to pop our chin. So yeah, lengthen your neck. And then inhale, drop. So I want you to do 2 more of those on your own. I'm going to chat while you're doing that. The whole idea is we're letting our lower back and our belly pull into the PEMF, and then we're going to arch it. This is a natural way to find that pelvic tilt because many of us, and I'm seeing a little bit with my husband, he doesn't tend to tilt well. So the blanket, the roll, the cigar roll, gives him something to feel that pressure. Does that make sense, Q? Do you feel that?
Yes.
Yeah. So I'm not having him bridge up. It's just called a hip roll, okay? Now, he's got 1 more of these while I'm just changing things around. And I'm just using the yoga block, like I said, just for a little prop for him. And I want to move this over. Okie doke. Okay, so the next thing we're going to do with this is we're going to do some single leg work. Now, I'm going to do the work for Q, and he doesn't have to really do anything but just enjoy. But maybe you don't have someone to help you, and you'll have to actively be involved. The left leg goes straight onto the mat, and I'm going to take his right knee and bring it in. So the foot's relaxed, and all we're going to do at this time is bring the knee out to the side. It doesn't have to go far. The left thigh is heavy, and then I'm going to take it across his center line. The pelvis is not rocking. Now, if you were to do it on your own, Q, I'm going to have you take your right hand to hold the knee, just gently, nothing crazy. You're not forcing, not stressing. And then you'll switch hands. The left hand will gently come over. You're going to feel that little hip stretch. Okay, I'm only do 3 on each side, guys. So go ahead, feel that press. Navel still is trying to press into the roll, and then switch. Yeah, it's just a nice, easy rock and roll. Don't let your hips roll. Just getting that IT band. 1 more time. We'll do both sides so you'll see it. So again, the foot's relaxed. That's it. And then switch. So I'm getting a little inner and outer hip lengthening. Perfect. Now, we're going to take the right hand on his knee, and I'm going to call these hip circles. Think about the kneecap pointing to the sky. We're going to cross center and around. They're not big circles. I'm trying to press his femur, his thigh bone in the hip socket. Does that make sense? Does that feel that? Not big. Yep. 3 in one direction, crossing center, and reversing. Again, I still have that blanket under his back. Is that uncomfortable for you at all?
That feels good.
Okay, good. Good. You could, if it's too much, he could have his left knee bent if it's too much on his back, and place this foot down. Good. Okay, you're going to slide your leg straight out, your right leg, and then bring your left knee in. Now that you've got the left knee in, go ahead and hug it with your right hand. I'm sorry, your left hand, and gently pull out to the side. Just gently, don't force it. Then use your right hand to pull over center line. So he's crossing his middle, and now the stretch is right down here. His butt is still on the blanket. Switch. It's just a very gentle inner thigh stretch. I'm holding down his thigh, and then he's just using his hand for a little support. So he's plugging down and into the hip. Okay, one more. Everyone feels like, when I stretch, I got to do a lot. No, we just want to move gently. We don't want to stress out our body any more than it is. Great. Is that 3? I can't even count. Yeah. Okay, so put your left hand on your knee and make a circle. Think about clock. 12 o'clock, 3 o'clock, 6 o'clock, 9 o'clock, 12, 3. You're kind of pushing that knee away. And he's breathing beautifully in this. Inhale for half the circle. Exhale for half. Now reverse it. Come toward me. Inhale, push that knee away. Exhale and around. That's it. One more. We're just really working deep into the hip joint. Great. Now place that foot down. You're going to bend the right knee. So both knees are bent and the feet are flat. Now, I want your feet as wide as the blanket, the PEMF mat. So your feet are wider. Yeah, you got room. Yep. The knees come in to touch. And he still has the cigar roll on his back. You're going to let both knees drop over to your left and just turn your head to the right. This is a very gentle spine twist. And you're going to feel the pressure of the cigar roll on your left kidney. Take a big breath in. Now use your belly, push into that cigar roll, and then bring your knees to me and look the other way. And kind of bring your chin down to your collarbone. Good. All the air comes out. Take a big breath in to prepare to move. Now exhale, belly to spine, belly to cigar roll. That's making your abdominals have to work a little bit for you as the knees just gently drop. Hang out there. Take a big breath in. Feel that right side of your ribcage expanding. Exhale, navel to spine. Let the knees come toward me. You're naturally turning your head in the opposite direction. Spinal twisting here. You pause. You breathe in big. Fill up the belly, the ribs, the chest. Now exhale, belly, ribs, chest, or heart. Great. Okay, let's just do one more because again, three's sufficient, but I can't count. I got so much going on in my brain right now. Yeah, enjoy this. Just feel that big inhale breath on your left side. Exhale, belly in, and recenter. Perfect. Okay, so his knees are touching. Perfect. Now, I'm going to walk his feet together. Soles of the feet are going to come together. You're going to open your knees up slowly. Now, his back is naturally arching. You might not even feel the cigar roll, and that's okay. Now I want him to have his natural arch, but even might be a little bit more than natural. So we're going to do this breath now. You're going to take a big breath in. You're going to feel your belly rise. Squeeze your feet together. Exhale your air and push your belly down into the cigar roll. And you're tightening these muscles in your inner thighs. Good. Oops. You got a cramp. Sorry about that. Now, inhale, relax those feet. Relax. Big breath in. Exhale, gently squeeze your feet together. More is not better, okay? Now, when you exhale, the muscles are tightening. Now, inhale, relax everything. Go limp on that. Just let the belly rise. And one more time, exhale. So when he squeezes his feet together, the knees kind of come up just a little bit. And then when he relaxes, the knees go apart. That's it. One more time. The feet kind of, I think like you've got a sponge between your feet and you're squeezing that water out. And then when you inhale, you just relax your feet. You fill up that sponge. Now, after we've done about 3 of those, I'm going to have him slowly bring his knees together. Take your time. Yep. We're going to press the feet into the mat. And one time, he's going to roll up, pressing down into the cigar roll, lifting his hips up, exhaling all your air. And then you're going to roll back down. Feel like you're pressing all the way down, bone by bone on an exhale. Exhale. Oh, yeah. Beautiful. So now that I've got his spine kind of relaxed, and I know he's feeling probably really relaxed, I'm going to unfortunately have to have you roll to the side and sit up for me. So take your time, roll to the side. Take your time, let yourself come up slowly. Now, I'm going to do something a little different. How are you feeling so far?
Very nice.
I don't want him to check out too much, but enough. I'm going to take this blanket or this cigar roll, and it's going to go under his shoulder blades. Now, this might not be enough for some of you. It might be just enough for many of you. I'm not going to use this blanket. Now, I'm going to move this out of the way. So when you roll down, okay, let me make this a little tighter. Hold on a second. I actually might add a little bit more. I feel like he's going to need a little more assistance. So I'm going to take another blanket and just give you a little bit more lift. There we go. So I made my cigar roll a little bit bigger. Okay, careful when you come down, honey. You can take your hands behind your head if you need to. Come all the way down. Good. And then your head's going to drop. Oh, I have got to get you slower. Sorry. Try that again. Okay. Now he's pretty tight in his neck and shoulders, so carefully come on down. You see his chin's popped. I'm okay with that for right now. And you see how his chest is lifted? Is that pretty hard? Is that difficult for you?
No.
Okay. If it feels really uncomfortable for you, I would have a little blanket and maybe I'll just do a little one. So right now what I've got is, I've got his chest lifted, okay? And there's a big arch in your back. Do you feel that?
Yes.
Yeah. Okay, I'm going to ask him to actually bring both hands up to the sky. Palms are facing and feel your shoulder blades flat on the mat. Yep, just like that. Perfect. Now, I call this puppet hands. Yeah, you want to bend your knees? You feel like you need to have, yeah, perfect. Go ahead and bend your knees. One hand comes down, the other hand reaches back. And then let's do that with breath. Exhale, switch. Inhale, exhale, switch. So we're puppeting the arms, okay? One hand comes up, one down. Take a breath in between, exhale, switch. Great. One more each way. So these are called our puppet arms. You grab this while you do that. Great. Now both hands will come to the sky on this next breath. Now, thinking hands are in line with the shoulders, shoulders are flat, you're going to open your arms up to a T shape. Inhale. Now, when you bring the hands up and over, cross one arm over the other like you're giving yourself, like you're giving me a big hug. There we go. Good. Now, inhale, open up your arms. This time, cross right arm over left. Exhale. And as you do this, feel that bottom elbow squeezing that top elbow. Open up the arms. Inhale. And on the exhale, cross. Alternating one arm over the other. Inhale. Now we're just working in shoulders. We're just trying to get those shoulders to warm up. And exhale. Beautiful. Last time, inhale. And last time, exhale. Great. Arms reach up to the sky. We've got one more thing before we move on. And I'm going to have you do arm circles. So what that means is when you reach back, your arms are going to, your elbows will be bent. Think like you're going to a goalpost. Yep. And then you sweep those arms down around. Palms will face your hips. Inhale up. Anchor your shoulder blades on the mat. Reach overhead. Exhale. Big arch in the spine. Reach out wide and around. Palms face your hips. One more time, inhale, arms up, and back and around. Exhale, get that stretch across the chest. Now I'm going to have him reverse that. So palms will face your hips, go out wide to the T shape, palms facing the ceiling, up overhead. Now exhale, press down, move all that energy down to the mat. Do two more like that. Inhale, stretch out wide. Belly rises, chest expands, heart lifts. Now exhale, belly sinks, ribs close, and heart Hands as wide as the hips. Great. One more time. You take a big breath in. Reach wide. Reach up. As your shoulders anchor down. Yeah, anchor your shoulder blades down. Perfect. And hands come to your hips. Good. Now relax. Just relax for a second. Yeah, there we go. Perfect. So I'm just going to give him a moment here to let his shoulders relax, let his hips relax. He's got the cigar roll under his upper spine, so let's give him a little heart lift here. And then we're going to eventually take that blanket out. So carefully, honey, bend your knees. Just roll to the side, just for a moment. And then I'm going to pull that blanket and now roll back down. So how does your spine feel right now?
Feels good.
Feels good. Okay, great. Of course he's going to say that to me. All right, so here's what we're going to do next, guys. I'm going to ask Q to straighten his legs out completely. Now, in this particular move, I'm going to make him, I'm going to give him some rotation in his shoulders, okay? But his legs are very active. The arms are going to go out to the side. Now, when your arms are out to the side, make sure they're not too high. Bring your left hand lower. There. The right arm's going to reach up, stretch up, and then you're going to go ahead and turn your head and reach your hand to your left hand. But your hips don't move. It's not going to be big. Good. Inhale, arm comes up. Exhale it down. Left arm reaches up to the sky. Stretch up, get the shoulder blade off the ground, and then over to the right. Your head turns to, like you're reaching, stretching. Good. Arm comes up. Inhale. Anchor that shoulder blade down. Anchor the knuckles of your hand down. Arm reaches up. Inhale. Feel that shoulder lift and exhale. You're rotating head and shoulders. If you're a golfer and tennis player, by the way, this is an awesome stretch. Or prep, I should say, for rotation. Up and shoulder blade anchors. Bring that left arm up. Inhale, stretch it up to the ceiling. Exhale over. See how much more you turn you got the second or third time? Yeah, it's crazy. Arm comes up, anchor your shoulder. Hand lower than your armpit when you bring it down. Last time, right arm up. Inhale. Exhale, big reach. He's got so much more rotation. Look at that. 3 times. It made a big difference. Inhale up. Shoulder anchors. Exhale down. Last time, left arm reaches up. Stretch, 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 and over. Rotate. So his hips are heavy. He's not moving his lower body. I'm making sure of it. Yep, look, you almost touch your fingers here. Inhale and exhale down. Beautiful. Just relax for a second. Just relax out just like that. So everything's nice and relaxed. So we're going to now go back to the lower body. Your hands will just gently come to the sides, and you can turn your palms down. So go ahead and bring your left hand there. And I actually had to bend his elbow up to the side a little bit. So instead of laying there like very stiff, you want to have the elbows out so your chest is nice and relaxed. Feel okay with that? Perfect. Bend both knees one at a time. I always bend one at a time. It's just much safer, more gentle on your spine. Now we're going to go into a figure 4. Right ankle over left knee. Yep. And all I want you to do first is remember what it felt like to have that cigar roll, okay? You want your left hip and right hip to feel very anchored. Your lower back is not flat. You've got that little arch in your spine, and just gently rocking them first, okay? Take a big breath in, and now on the exhale, he's going to bring both knees toward me. Now, his left shoulder stays down, and because I know my husband, I know he's a little tight, I'm going to take this yoga block and let him rest his knee on the yoga block. Okay, feel okay with that?
Yeah.
You can use a blanket or something if the block is too much, but I'm not having him force this. I'm not having him pull anything over. I'm just letting him get his gentle stretch in his glute, his lower back. Make sense? Feel okay with that? Just hang out there for one more breath. Belly, ribs, and chest inflate. And then deflate belly, ribs, and chest. And use that HS sound. Yeah, let it go. We've been doing Kundalini yoga, and we do this breath of fire and this lion's breath, and it's really, really active in your. So I'm just having him do more of a spa breath. Your next exhale is when you're going to come back to center. Inhale, prepare to move. Exhale, bring everything back. Use the belly muscles. And now slowly let your knees drop to the other side. And as he does that, I'm going to have this block ready for him to see that he can rest. Maybe he's going to rest his foot on the block. Yeah, that's all. And then he just gets a little support of his foot in the block. That way he's feeling something. He's not hanging in space. When we do restorative practice, you want to use props. When I do a yin yoga practice, we let the limbs kind of hang. But I want you to feel like he's really grounded into something. And now you feel that nice expansion in the side of the ribs, breathing in, breathing out. On your next exhale, you're going to use your belly muscles and come back to center. Good. And you're going to uncross this leg. Okay? Let's take another big breath in to prepare to move your left foot. As you exhale, left leg comes over right. Good. We're just going to kind of hang out there for a second. And I'm going to gently rock him. I want him to feel his right hip socket, right sits bone, and his left sits bone. Those are his markers here. Just to feel his hips moving left to right. Again, I said this early in our session. When we have a lot of stress, and if you're sitting doing your taxes, you're sitting doing anything, you hold a lot of tension in your psoas, and you stretch out your lower back too much, and you just get really rounded and wound up. So I'm looking for more neutral pelvis when I do a lot of our work. That means that lower back's arch. Now, your next exhale, we're going to take it all the way over, and I want you to your left. Yep. All the way over, and we're going to find this block so his knee can rest there. Yeah. So he was already here just a moment ago, but now I've got left ankle over right, so it's giving him a little more of a stretch. Feel okay with that, hon?
Yes.
Yeah. Yeah. We're not trying to pull anything here. Like our vibration platforms that we just let everything kind of loosen up, the PEMF mat's doing its magic of getting his energy field to kind of get connected with the earth. Now the breath is connecting with his internal stuff, the sympathetic, parasympathetic, and these postures are letting him open up areas that are tight. Your next inhale prepares you to move. The exhale, it's the belly breath. You empty out through the belly to come back to center. You pause for a moment to take another breath in. And on the exhale, you let your knees float over. Float is the magic word here. We're not going quickly. And eventually his foot's going to find a resting spot. Yeah, there you go. I'm taking advantage of this. I'm going to lay my body a little bit on the mat while I'm teaching him. Why not, right? So I'm going to have him hang here for a breath. And we've only got one more posture after this because I've had him laying flat for, where are we at now? Yep, we're actually at the 30-minute mark. Perfect, okay? So your next exhale, I always take an inhale to prepare to move. Fill your body up with lots of energy. Exhale, remove it all as you come back through center. Good. And now uncross your legs. So slowly let your legs stretch out one time and just relax. So we're going to go into corpse pose. Palms facing up on this one. Just let your arms turn. Yeah, there we go. And relax. So I'm going to just move this blanket too, or this help. So do you feel a difference in your neck and shoulders? Remember when you first laid down how your chin was kind of popped up a lot? You've really opened things up a lot more here. And that was simply by him doing the shoulder work. He was kind of tight in his shoulders and neck, and you might be too hunched over computer or daily, whatever your daily practices are. So I just moved through the shoulder joints. I didn't have to even have him stretch his neck out per se. We naturally turned the head with the breath. We naturally move the arms around in their range of motion. I didn't force anything more than a little bit extra rotation, a little extra breath. Now, to come out of here, I'm going to have him bend his knees nice and slow, 1 foot at a time. Foot comes down, that's it. Other foot comes to the blanket. You're going to roll over, fetal pose. So you're going to roll over to your left. Your left hand becomes a pillow for your head. Yep, just lay over there. Yep, just like that. Now, when you come up, honey, I want you to just use your right hand to bring you up. Look down. Look down at the mat as you push up. Push yourself up. So you're going to push yourself up looking down at the mat. Push yourself up. There we go. Because many of us tend to get up with our head first. I want the head to be the last thing. Perfect. So now you're going to go onto your hands and knees facing the logo. And for this one, I'm going to actually use a more of a blanket here. Okay, I'm going to take my blanket roll and I'm going to have him rest his rib cage on the blanket. So you're going to go ahead and pelvis is down. And I'm going to take this yoga block. Bring your elbows underneath your shoulders. Sphinx pose. There. Okay, perfect. So by pressing the ribs into the blanket, he doesn't have to worry too much about his lower back. Do you feel supported there? Then I'm going to take this block, and your forehead is going to rest on the block. Good. And then bring those elbows a little wider. There you go. And shoulders back. Good. Naturally laying on his hips, pelvis, thighs, shins, ankles, elbows under the shoulders, and his head's resting. He doesn't have to really about holding up his head. So I'm letting his lumbar spine kind of go into its natural position, getting the thoracic spine to relax, neutral cervical spine, and we're just getting a little bit of extension back into the body. Again, we flex so much in our normal daily life. So I just want your body to feel supported in a back bend, if you will. So we're getting a lot of energy. Now, think about the breathing here. 3-part breathing. How do we do that? We breathe into the back of the belly. We breathe into the back of the ribs. We breathe into the back of the heart space. We exhale back. The belly empties. Ribs soften into the blanket. And heart relaxes toward the earth. We'll do that one more time. Breathe into the back. Inhale. Breathe into the ribs, the lower lungs. Breathe into the back of the heart. Yeah, expanding. Beautiful. Exhale, belly. Exhale, ribs. Exhale, heart. Boy, big difference when you really put the breath into it. You can feel that energy. I'll give him one more round of that because now he's got it. It makes sense in his body and his mind. Now, when you're ready, honey, you'll take a big breath in to prepare yourself to go into child's pose. So inhale. And as you exhale, start pushing your hands into the mat to lift yourself up and bring your butt back. And I'm going to take this blanket and I'm just going to put it behind his knees here and just let his thighs rest into the blanket. And just now I don't want your head to actually come onto the mat. You don't need to do that. We'll just put a towel there, just let your forehead. Yeah, we don't really recommend that we put our head on the mat. So I'm just going to put a little towel or something to prevent him from bringing his head too close to the mat. And then you can bring your arms a little bit wider because you're pretty broad across the chest. There we go. And you're just letting your heart sink. One more time, let's do the breathing. Belly breath, rib cage breath, heart breath, and empty belly. Yeah, there you go. Empty ribs, empty heart. Feel how that breath just made him sink more. One more time. Belly, ribs, hearts, and then exhale. Belly, ribs, and the heart sinks. As you take your next inhale, slowly come on up. Take your time and have a seat, my love. So you can have a seat. Okay. First hand, how are you feeling?
Fantastic.
Good.
Really incredible.
Good.
It's really, I feel like I am in the earth, but I feel like my whole body is grateful that I did it.
Good. Excellent. Well, I can sense your energy feels a lot more relaxed. And by me teaching you this and breathing with you and having a little bit of little love from the PEMF mat, I also feel a lot more relaxed than I did when I first started this live.
I probably shouldn't have moisturized before as well.
No, yeah. You probably don't want. You want to not really have a lot of oils on your skin when you're on your mats, just like the sauna blankets. But you can easily wipe these off with antiseptic or wipes. Okay, guys, I hope that was helpful for you on tax weekend or any time of the day or week when you're feeling a little stressed out. Pull your mat out, whether it's the regular Infrazen PF, the large mat. As I said, we use our mini pretty regularly. We have it in the living room area that we can just pop it in and lay on it or sit on it and just relax on it. I'm going to put this sequence in the chat after we get off of the live. It also will be in our Life Pro library on the Life Pro VIP page and the business page for eternity. If you have any questions, need a large one back in stock. Oh gosh, I'm sorry that they're not back in stock, but they will come back. I'm sure they will. Be patient. It is definitely worth the wait. It's definitely worth the price and the wait to have one of these. I never thought I would be able to own a PEMF mat because the prices were kind of out of range there, but Life Pro made them very, very affordable for all of us. I'm going to put my link in the chat box. So if you don't have one yet, click on the link. There's no sale right now, you can use my name, Roseann, and get another 10% off. So that's with tax season right here ending up. Maybe that's a nice little bonus you can get. If you get a refund check, use it for your PEMF mat. It'll be money well invested in you. So thanks, guys, so much for joining me and my husband, Kewen. I want to thank my husband, Kewen. I knew I didn't have to twist his arm to do this one. I knew that would be an easy sell. So I'm going to head out now for my Pilates class. I hope you enjoy the rest of your weekend and have a very happy, healthy today. Bye for now. Okay.